When you first start off with music, people might say that your music sounds like noise. This happened to me. And if they're polite, they might just keep it to themselves, but they're probably thinking it. We often associate the term noise with something that's unpleasant or undesirable. We never hear an accomplished singer, for instance, and say, "Oh, she sounds like noise." No, we say, "Oh, she sounds like an angel." But strangely, if you go far enough in one direction, sometimes you find yourself in an opposite place from where you expect. In this video, we're going to use Synth to find out how to apply noise to sound design and synthesis. Stay tuned. Hey, I'm Michael Carrillo, aka Hexpa. Welcome to my channel. Thank you to my long-term subscribers. If you're new, I write articles for all these videos, so check that in the description, as well as an affiliate link so you can download Synth and follow along. So noise can be either cacophonous or soothing. In the intro, I alluded to how some old people might not like the music or music tastes or skills of the younger generation. But did you know that some noise is useful for sleep? For example, I sleep with a fan next to my head. Not only does it move air, but its neutral whir helps block out some of the ambient apartment noises. You can add it to any synth patch for a number of reasons. One, it can thicken and brighten a synth patch. Two, it can add a lo-fi sort of noisy sound to your synth patch. And three, it can help make filter movement more obvious. Noise is used extensively on its own and as background filler and transitions for electronic music, particularly with filter sweeps. There are two main types of noise, white and pink. White is brighter, pink is a little bit darker. For all intents and purposes, we're going to be focusing on the sound of these, so look up the details if you want on your own, but for Synth and Primer, we'll be using white noise. Let's get into some demonstrations. White noise, that's what we're adding now. We can also turn the oscillator off, so no noise with a sawtooth, standard buzz. Turn off the sawtooth, nothing. Bring up the noise some. We get this spray can sound. Or is that a 9 Inch Nails snare? Or is that just noise from tape? Yes, it is. So this is white noise. Pretty sure. It's bright. And so what that means is equal energy at every frequency. Between 1000 and 2000 hertz is 1000 frequencies, but between 10 and 20, there's 10, right? However, so since there's more frequencies, it'll sound brighter. But if you divide the audio band into octaves, then you end up, and put equal energy, then you end up with pink noise, which is a little bit darker. I don't know if you can actually approximate that with a filter or not. I don't think so, because it's a low pass filter. You'd have to use something else like a shelf. But that's why you have these slopes with FFT analyzers. Basically any spectrum graph that you see that isn't like a spectral graph, but the wavy lines, those are calibrated to one pink noise or some kind of noise. It's either going to be white noise, in which case music would be a lot on an angle because music is not that bright. So most are to -3, which is pink noise, which is still pretty bright. Personally, I hear around -4.5 dB per octave, so I'm always EQing my music to be a little bit darker. I probably shouldn't do that, but that's just how I hear it. So when I see it in a graph, it makes sense to me. But yeah, I should probably overcompensate because I'm really not that sensitive to high frequencies. I can hear them, but they're not what I focus on. I focus on the mid-range, probably, since I'm such a big proponent of the mix cube or whatever. Enough of that. This is noise. You've heard it a million times used as transitions. Of course, more smoothly, we have an amp envelope here. But that's not affecting the filter. Let's see, let's bring up, let's create a little envelope. You've heard that. This is standard electronic music stuff. Pink Floyd had noise. Noise is inharmonic, so it's a great way to add inharmonicity to your subtractive sounds. I'm not sure that you can create inharmonicity any other way. Maybe ring mod, definitely. Oscillator sync perhaps. FM for sure. So yeah, instead of just going with the harmonic raw material from your basic oscillator, you're able to add this. This is good for drums, cymbals. So yeah, and you can also layer it in with your regular sound too, just to give maybe a more retro sound without the amp envelope. You bring it down like that, it just kind of sits in the back almost like just a dirty sample. Because, like I said, noise is the same noise that you'll get in digital or any system where there's just chaotic behavior with the electrons. That's noise. That's a noise floor. On tape, it's actually just noise. I think pink noise, but it could be white noise. Regardless, it's just noise. And that's the noise floor, assuming it's not coming from acoustic sounds in the room or whatever. This is your electronic noise floor. So we are now going to be adding this. Obviously, it's a dark sound, huh? Okay. Okay, we're all the way down. That's why you don't hear it when we're holding it. It's like off. You gotta listen closely for that noise, huh? It's not very loud. Wow, that is really subtle. So we're at either -8, which I don't think it is, -11, probably, and then -15. Definitely not, so. Yeah, okay. We're not in the laser zone. Yeah. Amp envelope, it's probably not 0. Or is it? I don't think so. It's such a small distinction. It's funny that we would have to even know. Is it just me, or is everything really quiet today? I don't know, but that's basically patch, pretty sure. Yeah, it really does give kind of an analog retro sound, huh? I guess we're really focusing on this filter envelope. That seems to be the soup du jour, feature du jour. A lot of noise. And less noise. Oh, geez. Hmm. All right, let's just do a few more tweaks. This is actually pretty complex for our first mini challenge. Pretty sure I have the noise correct at minus 15. Oh yeah, so minus 15 is basically the minimum, otherwise it's minus 82. So yeah. Okay, then let's try 11. Definitely not. So that's right. Filter. Definitely not. Resonance. Nope. Decay time. Definitely not. Nope. That probably matches. And I'm not hearing anything special with the release, or the amp release. So I think that's the patch. Yeah! Okay. So that can only be one thing. Oh, okay, we got a long amp release. Okay, we're going all the way up there, huh? We got resonance too, for sure. It's an attack here. So, I don't know. Okay. No, that's definitely not right. Here, there's a little cloudiness to the hidden patch. Very subtle, but present. I'll be honest, I don't love long patches like this, at least to figure out, because the envelopes are so long. Okay, I think we're good. Yeah, I think so. Yeah! All right. Sounds like a bunch of resonance. Not sure how much. That's a long amp release. great. Got one thing right. Okay. Okay, we're there. Okay, we need to bring this up. Okay, we need some of this. Goes pretty high, I think. Way too slow. Going down. Okay, I think we got the level of noise right. The noise really does kind of chunking up the sound, huh? I guess you just added more frequencies, so it's just going to sound bigger. Oh, the amp envelope isn't that long. It's not shorter either. No. 5 seconds. Pretty sure that's the patch. Okay, so we're definitely bringing this down. Definitely bringing noise up. This is probably matched. That's short. That must be the patch, my friend. Yeah! All right. All right. How do I do this? something's different. Okay, that's the filter point. It's funny, man. Trying to find that where that noise is at the top. I think that's it right there. Once again, the high frequencies in my ears. Not sure if they're shaped for them. Anyway, pretty sure that's the patch. The only possible difference is that the release doesn't matter because the release is so short on the amp, so you'll never hear this. So I don't know where he set that, but probably at the same place. And then the amp, the filter envelope amount, I'm pretty sure is maxed. I don't think it's brought down any. Small difference, a little bit of resonance. Yeah. All right, let's see what's next. Noise sounds like, he says sounds like air. Which selection of the synth can we use to really bring out the noise? That would be the filter envelope. Wait, you gotta turn it up a little bit to hear that. Yeah, I think it does have noise. Does it have noise, or am I just hearing the reflections of the room? I think it has noise. Oh, come on. It sounded like it had noise. Yeah, it has noise. That one is a little bit more obvious. Yes, it has noise. I can hear that. Yo, I'm hearing noise. I know that he's going to tell me there's none, but I hear it. I mean, to me, I had to lie to answer that because it sounds like there's noise to me. Okay, now let's see what's next. Holy smokes, it's already the group time. So, yeah, I already did the intro, walked you through how I'm adding that noise. You know, he's basically saying that the filter envelope is really the thing that's going to help you bring that out. As you hear in many, many, many dance tracks, or just music in general, is noise sweeps, okay? White noise, equal energy every frequency. Basically sounds brighter. Pink noise, equal energy every octave. It sounds a little bit darker. And that's how your FFT is usually displayed, with like a -3 bias or whatever. So I'm going to get into some group challenges. And if you haven't downloaded Syntorial, make sure to do that. Follow along. It's got a great trial, and it's good ear training, man. You know, and it really helps you become stronger with synths. So if that's your goal, Syntorial is your program. Thanks for watching. So this first patch sounds like this. You need to be listening on headphones or stereo speakers to hear that there's panning happening. I had no idea because I listen on the Mixcube mostly. But that's all right because I got to figure out the waveforms. We're back to Joe's choice. So we're in a medium pulse and 50% mix, and the semi is up pretty high. You can hear that, you know, especially when you hold down the key in the lower octave. I knew it wasn't FM because FM doesn't have that rumbly low end. Usually it's going to have a nice smooth sine, you know, based on your carrier. So that already got me thinking, all right, we're no longer using FM. Obviously, this is the noise chapter, so that makes sense. It's monophonic. Long release, as we know. The sustain, it doesn't drop in the amp envelope, but it does for the filter. So we also have a filter sweep. So I had to figure out, is that low pass or what? That was a little bit tricky. The resonance was obviously pretty high and the amp envelope is not up that much. So yeah, I was trying all types of things to figure out this LFO. I knew it was an LFO because that's all we really got to create. But in mono, it just sounds like a tick. But yeah, as soon as I switched over to stereo, I was like, oh, boom, pan. So not too hard. Cool patch. Kind of versatile too because the second oscillator is tuned so high. Maybe not that one, but this one. You know, if you were just to turn the amp and the filter envelope off, it's kind of a cool sound. So somewhat versatile. You could always just high pass filter the sub out of it, you know, make it into a nice cool bass. All right, let's get a hint. Oh, okay, so I brought this up to 2 milliseconds. It's almost an imperceptible difference, and I can't tell because up here we're only hearing just the noise. Listen. It's really like a very small difference, but I think the default is 0. Maybe it's 2. No, I think it's 0, and I brought it up to 2 because I thought it was FM. But no big deal. That's it. Next patch. All right, for the second patch, it's kind of weird. Pretty basic, you know, we know that there's a delay on it. It sounded like saw to me. And I'm under the impression that it's using chorus to sort of spread it out because it's not aggressive. Not really. So I don't think it's unison. Plus we have the volume matched. We have some legato on the bend. Yeah, that delay. And we also have a low pass filter sweep. I think that the envelope is here around 2 o'clock. It sounds very close. If you turn it all the way up or halfway. Almost no difference. The resonance is definitely there at 2. The decay, probably want to match that as well. It doesn't matter too much because the release is almost instantly off. Not hearing anything special with the attack. We do have a sub oscillator, which I believe to be a triangle wave. Okay, without it, you go up high and then you end up with this. Yeah, it's kind of weird. It's almost like it changes the pitch. So always check in different octaves. I mean, you know, if you're transcribing off a record, it's different. But yeah, the delay is just mixed in a tiny bit and that's it. So let's get a hint. Like I said, I think I might be slightly wrong with the filter envelope amount. Other than that, I think I'm pretty well on with the noise and everything. So yeah, okay. So it was here just as much as it needed to be. You know, that's the way I had it, but to me, like best guess. Very, very small difference. I think we crossed the 90% mark. Let's submit this. And get on to the next patch. All right, guys, patch 3 sounds like this. I mean, sounds like this too. It's got a long tail on it. A bouncy delay, which is caused by the spread not being all the way out. The unison, it's a wide sound without it. Besides being louder, it's more spread out, and that's because the spread is maxed. Pretty sure, actually, I don't think I checked to make sure it's maxed or not. Nah, it's maxed. And no chorus, monophonic. And the polyphony is off because when I hit another note while the other note's held, the filter restarts. Amp envelope 2. No mod envelope, no LFO. Volume turned down a bit. I did try doubling and detuning, but that doesn't make sense because it's a stereo sound, which means we're using unison and spread. Okay, so it's detuned just a little bit, maybe the equivalent of 3 cents. Here it says 9, but maybe it is, maybe it isn't. The resonance is up, filters all the way down, almost as much as it'll go. Long filters on these, but you can kind of hear where the filter is because it has a bit of a swell to it. Even though it's not velocity sensitive, it almost is, because kind of like the harder you hit a key, almost the longer you hold it. You know, it's kind of related almost, so you can figure out the filter from there. The amp envelope is shorter than the filter envelope. I thought that was interesting. So you can hear that the volume is fading out before the sound gets dark. So to me, it reminds me of like a bird tail, because the feathers pass the butt, you know, and the butt is the bass. So yeah, bird tail patch. That's it. Let's get a hint. Boom. Next one. This is the next patch. Sounds like this. Okay, so the release is obviously not that long. There is a maximum sustain level, so the decay doesn't matter. The attack is all the way down at 0. No FM. I thought that there was, but once again, if you check in the high ranges, it would sound the same, but as soon as you start bringing it down to the bass, it's different. So I was thinking, oh, maybe it's FM with a sub. Definitely not. We're monophonic. It is unison. I thought it might be chorus. No, definitely not, because, I don't know, after I went through all the volume, basically I couldn't get the chorus loud enough, which makes sense. It kind of decreases the volume, so unison it was. 4 voices, detuned to 0.17, whatever that means. It's quite a lot. Spread out, so the sound is definitely wide, which is kind of interesting. Lots of bass, because we're using the square wave. So cutoff is actually pretty high. It's above halfway, 60%. So when we hold the note down, the envelope comes down, rests at the cutoff, and you're still hearing some of those whistly overtones, which, where are they even coming from? The unison pretty much in the square wave. And the noise probably helps some. So right now the noise is at -4. Yeah, we still get that I don't know, fluty sound. But it seems like the noise almost brings it out a little bit. Not sure why. No delay. I didn't think there was any reverb on it, was there? Nope. So that's it. Get a hint? Boom. Final patch. All right, guys, I'm pretty satisfied with this patch. Let's give it a listen. So it's got some movement, but it's also kind of monophonic, if you listen. I'm not hearing a lot of spread, so yeah. So that makes me think that it was doubling and detuning. So I split the mix between the two oscillators 50-50. Brought one of them up 9 cents, brought one of them down 9 cents, and then I tried the polyphony out, and indeed, we are getting 5 voices. Four voices. As soon as I hit that 5th note, then as soon as I hit that 5th note, you know, the bottom one gets choked out. So no portamento or anything, no semi-transposition, just saw waves start on. The amp envelope we can hear is fading in. It's not just the filter, because if it was, instead of 1,000 milliseconds, we get a punch. A low punch, but a punch nonetheless. Another thing interesting about this patch, well, the noise is turned up, just like all of these have been. The resonance is turned up to 2 o'clock, which is normal. The cutoff is down just below 50%. The envelope is up, but here's the thing. The amp envelope, unlike the last patch, where the filter envelope was shorter in the last one, and the sound trailed off with no bottom end. But with this one, it's fading out, and we're keeping the filter open longer. Listen. It's not, this one's not shutting down like that for the decay. And for the release either. So the sound stays bright. I'm not sure what happened with the last one. I actually kind of forget. But yeah, so the release is not that long because it does make an exit. Unlike this. In that case, it kind of sounds like it's just sort of filling the room, but here it's coming in and going out. Imagine if we matched the filter release with the amp release. You hear that sweep because of the resonance? No. So, pretty sure that's it. Let's get a hint. Boom. 5 patches done. Yeah! Yeah! So hopefully that was helpful. Noise and filters go together. Definitely try to apply noise to some synth patches you've already made, and apply a modulation envelope or a filter envelope or an LFO to get some movement happening, so it's not just sitting there. Besides making filter movement more obvious, we know that noise can add a sort of vintage lo-fi quality to your patches, as well as thicken and brighten an otherwise thin or dark sound. As far as synthesis goes, white noise is definitely the most common, but find out what your synth has. I know Native Instruments Massive has a number of different types of noises, so be sure to check them out. Thanks for watching. I'm Hexpa. See you in the next video. Peace.